Imagine this. You've been paying a car EMI for 3 years. Every single month without fail, money leaves your account before you even get a chance to think about it. 13,000 rupees. Gone like clockwork. And then one day, it stops. The loan is paid off. The car is yours. No more EMI. And you expect to feel rich. But here's the strange part. A few months later, you check your account. And that 13,000 rupees, it's just gone anyway. Not to the bank, not to any loan, just gone. Quietly absorbed into your life without you even noticing where it went. Sound familiar? This is one of the most fascinating and frustrating things that happens in personal finance. And it has almost nothing to do with math and almost everything to do with psychology. Because paying off your car loan is actually one of the biggest financial opportunities most people will ever get. And most people waste it completely without even realizing it. So today, let's talk about why everything changes after paying off your car loan. And more importantly, what you should actually do when that day comes. Here's what most people believe. They believe that once the loan is gone, they'll automatically feel the difference. They'll have more money. Life will feel lighter. Savings will go up on their own. It sounds logical. The EMI was 13,000. Now the EMI is 0. So 13,000 rupees should magically appear in savings every month, right? Wrong. And this is where a very sneaky thing called lifestyle creep walks in through the back door. See, when you were paying the EMI, your brain had already adjusted. 13,000 rupees leaving every month felt normal. That was just part of life, like rent, like groceries, like your phone bill. Your entire lifestyle was built around what was left after that payment. So when the payment disappears, something very interesting happens. Your brain doesn't register it as extra money. It registers it as available money. And available money has a very short life expectancy. That extra 13,000 quietly becomes a slightly nicer dinner out, a few extra online orders, a weekend trip you hadn't planned, a new gadget that was always almost within budget but never quite. None of these things feel like a mistake. Each one feels completely reasonable, but together they consume that freed up cash completely, and you're left wondering where your raise went. This is the trap, and it's not a trap of bad intentions, it's a trap of human nature. Let's understand what's really happening here. There's a concept in psychology called mental accounting. It was studied by a Nobel Prize-winning economist named Richard Thaler, and the basic idea is this. Our brain doesn't treat all money equally. We put money into invisible mental boxes, the rent money box, the EMI box, the fun money box, and we feel very differently about spending from each box. When you're paying an EMI, that money lives in a very clear box. It has a label, it has a destination. Your brain treats it as already spoken for. But the moment the loan is paid off, that box disappears. The money doesn't automatically move to a new box like savings or investments. It just sits there, labelless, homeless, waiting. And homeless money always finds somewhere to go. The people who win financially after paying off a loan are the ones who immediately create a new box. They give that money a job before it has a chance to disappear. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you have a bucket with a small hole in it. Every month, you're adding water to fill it up. The hole represents your EMI, constantly draining. Now imagine someone plugs that hole. Great news, right? But if you don't change how much water you're adding or start filling a second bucket, the water just sloshes around and eventually evaporates anyway. The hole is gone, but the water still disappears if you don't redirect it intentionally. That's exactly what happens with EMI money. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Your car loan EMI was doing something you probably never thought about. It was acting like forced savings. Think about it. Every month you had no choice. That money was leaving. You couldn't spend it. You couldn't impulse buy with it. It was gone before you could touch it. And because of that, you built your entire financial life around what was left. You learned to live on whatever came after the EMI. This is actually the secret behind how many people unconsciously build discipline. Not by having willpower, but by having no choice. The EMI was a system, a painful, expensive system, because you were paying interest, but a system nonetheless. It forced behavior. Now the system is gone, and most people don't replace it with anything. They just go back to trusting their own willpower, which, as we all know, is not exactly the most reliable thing in the world when there's a sale on or a new restaurant has opened nearby. Here's the deeper insight, though. When you're paying a car, EMI, you are literally building someone else's wealth. The bank is making money off your loan. Every month, a chunk of that EMI is interest. It's not going towards your car, it's going into the bank's pocket. But the moment that loan is done, the moment you flip the switch, You have a choice. You can keep paying that same amount every month, except now, instead of paying the bank, you're paying yourself. That same 13,000 rupees redirected into a good mutual fund SIP every month over 10 years at a reasonable return. We're talking potentially 30 to 40 lakh rupees or more, depending on returns. Same money, same discipline, completely different destination. The bank was using your habit against you. Now you can use that same habit for yourself. That is the shift. That is what changes everything. There's one more thing worth understanding. When you pay off a loan, your brain experiences something very specific, a small rush of relief, a feeling of freedom. And this feeling, as good as it is, can actually be dangerous. Because relief tends to make us feel like we've earned something, like we've been so disciplined for so long that we deserve a break. And that feeling is not wrong. You did work hard, you did stay consistent, but it can trick you into thinking that the financial work is done. It's not done, it's just beginning. This is the moment, right after the last EMI clears, where the next chapter of your financial life either starts or doesn't. The people who treat the payoff as a finish line go back to zero. The people who treat it as a starting line, they accelerate. Think about it like running a race. You've been jogging uphill for 3 years with a weight on your back. That weight is now gone. Most people stop to rest, but the smart move and the counterintuitive move is to keep running at the same pace. Because now, without the weight, you're flying. So what should you actually do the moment your car loan is paid off? First, do not celebrate by spending. I know, it feels like the natural thing to do. But resist it for just 1 month. Second, immediately, the very next month, set up an automatic SIP or recurring deposit for the same amount as your old EMI. The same date, the same amount. Make it automatic so your brain never has to make the decision. Why automatic? Because you already proved you could live without that money. For years. You built your life around its absence. Don't let your brain unlearn that lesson now. Third, if you have other loans, credit card debt, personal loan, anything with high interest, redirect that EMI amount there first. Kill the expensive debt. Then, once that's done, redirect toward wealth building. Fourth, revisit your insurance. A lot of people buy car insurance and life insurance tied to loans and never think about whether their actual coverage is adequate. The payoff moment is a great time to audit your financial life as a whole. And fifth, just acknowledge what happened. You paid off a loan. That's real. That's discipline. That's 3 years of showing up. Give yourself credit for that. Just don't give your credit card a treat to celebrate it. Here's the thought I want to leave you with. Most people spend their entire lives paying EMIs. One car loan ends, another begins. One phone upgrade, one home appliance, one new two-wheeler. The EMI never really stops. It just changes its name. And every single time a loan ends, there is a window. A small, quiet window where the money is free and the habit already exists. A window where you can choose to redirect everything, the money, the discipline, the momentum, toward yourself instead of toward a lender. Most people don't see the window, or they see it and let it close. But now you know it's there. The car is paid off. The habit is already built. The only question is, who gets that money next? The bank already had its years. Maybe it's your turn.